Alright, welcome to Measures of Central Tendency, Mean, Median, Mode, and Range. This is just a really quick, brief intro in these four different terms: the mean, the median, the mode, and the range. We're not going to go in this order here, but just talk about briefly, an informal definition would be the average. You might also hear it as the arithmetic mean. There are other means that you'll learn in future classes. The median is, I like to call, the middle number. The mode, the most occurring number. And the range is the largest number minus the smallest number. So let's just dive right into it. You can pause this video if you need to, rewind, do whatever you need to be able to understand these four terms here. Anytime you have these problems, though, what you first want to do is you want to organize them from smallest to largest. So I scan these numbers real quick. I notice 65 is the smallest, so I'm going to rewrite that one there. And I keep looking. I see, oh, there's 1, 2, 3 75s. So 75, 75, and 75. There's my 3. So I'm going to cross those out real quick. And next biggest is that 80 there. So I cross that one out. Then I look and I see 85. I cross that one out. I got a 90. And then right next to that's 95. I'm going to cross that out before I write it. You got to be a little careful. 96 is the next one. 98 I could see after that, and then 100. And so now I got these in order from largest to smallest. But I want to double check. I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 11 here. I'm going to write that number there because that's important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that was just a good check to see if I accidentally wrote an extra one or left one out. Hopefully you don't do both at the same time, because then you wouldn't know. But let's get going. I don't usually go in order. What I like to do is I try to find the mean first, or the median first, excuse me. And when you have an odd number, that means like half are on one side, half are on the other. And in this case, 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. So that means there's going to be 5 here, and 1 right in the middle, which is nice. So when they're odd questions or odd number of values, you're actually going to find an exact median. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can draw a line right there. If I go the other direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can draw a line. And so again, this always happens when you have odd. You'll come to one number, and I can say, there's my median. And it'll make a little bit more sense when we get to the other problems, because I purposely had some even ones as well. The next thing I like to look at is the mode. I scan it real quick and see, is there any repetitions? I notice there's 1, 2, 3 repetitions, and so that's the most occurring one. So I can say that the mode equals 75. Now you really have a couple options for mode. It could be one number, it could be more than one mode, or it could be none. And I have one of each on all these problems coming up. Next thing that we're going to look at is the range. Range is to take the biggest number and subtract the smallest, because you're finding like the difference between the two. And so I'm going to go ahead and use some carrying here. So borrowing, 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 6 is 3. So I would say that the range is equal to 35. The next part might be a little tricky depending on if you're allowed to use calculators or not. You have to find the average, you have to add up all these numbers here from 65 to 100, and then you're going to divide by the number there. So if I were to add all these up, I would get 934, and then I would divide that by 11, and I would end up getting 84.9. So depending on what class you're in, if you can use calculators, it's pretty easy. If you can't use calculators, your teacher might show you a trick or two to add these quicker, or you just have to go through and add them up one at a time. Hopefully you don't make a mistake. Get to 934 divided by 11. You might want to divide it this way if you are not able to use a calculator. Okay, so again, this is the mean, and so we have the mean, the median, the mode, and the range, all four measures that we're looking at when we talk about measures of central tendency. So let's move on to the next problem up here, and same thing that we started out before. We want to look at the smallest number. You can see that it's a 9 there. Then the next number was a 10. I'll cross those out. And I scan them and I see 13 and 15. And so again, I'm going to cross those out. Don't cross them up too much where you can't read it. Just a quick line so that you don't rewrite them. I look and I see there's two 22s. So that's my first repetition. I want to remember that. We'll see if there's anything more. Then there's a 26. And then 1, 2 38s. So remember what that means for the mode then? If not, I will tell you in just a few seconds. And the last number is a 41. So again, let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 numbers here. Now that means there's going to be half on one side, half on the other. So 5 on one, 5 on the other. So when we look at for our median, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, draw a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you see how with odd numbers that we had down here, when we had the odd number, we had a number in the middle, but when we have an even number, there is no number in the middle. Now, these are the same, so that's really nice. You can say that the median is 22. If they weren't the same, you'd actually add them up and divide by 2. In other words, you find the average of those two numbers. I did not do that down here, and so that could be an advanced problem where suppose it was 22 and 25 in between. You would add those up and you would get 23.5 because that's halfway between, and so you'd find the median there. But that is not this problem, so I'm going to erase that real quick and move on. To find the mode, we can quickly see 22 is twice, but then 38 is twice. So I would write that the mode is 22 and 38. Those are the two most occurring numbers in our set there. And then we have to find the range. So 41 is the biggest. I subtract 9 from that. So borrow from the 3. I get 32 is my range. So that's how much it would, from 9 to 41 is 32. And again, same thing we do before. We have to add each one of these up. And if you do that, you're going to end up with 234. There's 10 of them there. So if I divide by 10, I'll get 23.4. Again, that could be a long process for you. That might be from your calculator or pencil and paper. But you should be able to get 23.4 is your mean or your average. The last one that we're going to look at, let's go ahead and look at these numbers, scan them real quick. Notice that 14 is the smallest. After 14, I jump up to 25, then 28. Then I see a 36, 37, 36, 37, and a 40 and 50. And then let's go ahead and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 there, so that's odd. If I cut that in half, that's 3.5. So I'm going to have 3. I'm going to have 1 in the middle and then 3 over here. So let's go ahead and find that. We got 1, 2, 3 there, and 1, 2, 3. You can see how the middle number is 36. So that's the median. I could then find the mode, and I go real quickly through, and I notice there is no repetition. So if I were to write an answer for the mode, I would say none. There is no mode. The second to the last thing that I'm finding is my range. So 50 minus 14 is the biggest number minus the smallest number. And let's go ahead and borrow. And you get 36. So my range is 36. The last thing is to find the mean. And again, you have to add up each one. If I add those up, and you could pause and try to do it before I tell you. So I'm going to tell you right now that it is 230, and there's 7 there, so I divide by 7, and if I do that math, I'm going to get 32.9, and that's what we call the mean. So again, this is just a quick video for you to see the measures of central tendency. We have the mean, median, mode, and range. There's a lot of problems that you could do. There's more advanced statistics and data analysis that you'll get into. This is just the starting point, and I hope that you are able to understand what we've done.